So, yeah, but Arsenal has just low standards. It doesn't really count. I'm talking about a big club, innit? Like,
Phase of the problem. Ollie's fine. It's just no, stop it, guys.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Offside Rule. I'm joined as always by the lovely Lambs and the lovely Rachel. How are you girls doing this evening?
Good. Just reading these comments. Big up to everyone who waited for us. Really appreciate it, by the way. There's so many of you. I'll make sure I get all your comments up on the screen.
Yeah, to echo what Rachel said, I'm here for these beautiful ladies and all you amazing people in the comments. To talk football and obviously to talk about some not so positive stuff as well related to the game and the stuff that's just been happening online ever since via YouTube and social media. But I guess it's important that we have these conversations and
So we'll start first of all with the football. Obviously, England were in their first ever Euros final, and I think the second ever final, I believe. I don't know if I've got that right. But yeah, it's not happened very often. They did really well to get there. They were playing a very strong Italy team. I don't know if the team are the best that Italy have ever had, but I think the combination of that team with the manager, I think was a good combination. They worked well, especially in the Euros. They were unbeaten. They're unbeaten since way before the Euros as well. I think it's 30. It was 36 games. I think it's over 40 now, or it's mid.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I think they've won like 14 games as well, like 14 games in total now. Like won every single one of them. Not even like drew or not lost.
Yeah,
every single one.
And before the Euros even started, like I was looking at their record because that's what I was saying. Because I was like, Italy are going to get to the final, and everyone was telling me that it's not going to happen. And I was like, but I think because they weren't just winning 1-0, they were winning like 9-0, 6-0, like with big results before the Euros. I know they weren't playing the best teams, but I think maybe they got a little bit fortunate in the side of the draw, simply because they didn't face maybe the hardest teams ever. But they got there and they obviously won it. So yeah, what did you make of the game? First of all, I'll start with you, Lambs.
Well, to be honest, I was saying this from a very long time and I was getting a lot of stick for it. And I kept on saying it's not coming home. I hope to be proved wrong, but
yeah,
apparently here we are, guys. It went to Rome, and I knew the difference was always going to come down to the fact that they just have a better manager. And as we progress as well, when the games get bigger, when the stakes get higher, I just think Southgate just doesn't know how to deal with the pressure. He doesn't make the best decisions, and we saw that in the final very, very clearly as well. Like you said, this Italy team, there's not even like any one or two like super stars that like shine. It's like Mancini's just such a genius. He's got them so well drilled into this system and how to make it work. That's why they're not conceding many goals or hardly any, especially in the early stages. And they're still scoring goals as well, which I think is what England were having a problem with. Defensively, Southgate has improved us very well, and I think we didn't concede a goal for quite a long time during this competition as well. But we're not scoring enough as well. We're not taking advantage of that attacking threat. He's not making the right decisions, not making the right substitutions as well. Again, I'm just going to say it. There has to be an agenda against Grealish now. It's clear to see because I'm not really too sure what this guy has done, hasn't done, especially in this system that Southgate has them in. And you need a creative outlet, somebody to supply the front line. Grealish works better than Mason Mount, in my opinion. And this is coming from a Chelsea fan. Mason Mount, I was actually quite disappointed, not even just in that final game, but throughout the competition. His competition throughout, I don't think it wasn't terrible, but I was expecting more and I didn't see more. And again, this is why I think everyone needs to calm down about Mason Mount. He's still not there. There's still aspects of his game he needs to improve as well. I thought the substitutions came way too late and they were the wrong ones as well. I thought when it came to the people that were taking the penalties as well. I'm not really too sure why Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford came on with 1 minute left. If you're only going to put them on for the purpose of penalties, I think that was kind of throwing them into the deep end, especially because they haven't even really got that many minutes during this competition as well. There's a lot more senior players, more experienced players that I think maybe should have stayed on or been kept on for the sake of penalties, if that was his way of thinking. I also think you could see with Italy, once they went a goal down, Mancini was making like the correct substitutions at the right times as well. And they were trying to win the game. They weren't playing for penalties or making substitutions for extra time or penalties. They were trying to win the game. You could clearly see that. And they were trying to kill the game off. And I'm thinking, why don't you if you're going to put Rashford and Sancho on, put them on a little bit earlier on in extra time. Give them at least 15 to 20 minutes to make a difference, because they offer something on the wing. They offer a different option. They didn't have to get to penalties. We could make the right substitutions and try and kill off the game, get that second goal. And again, it was the decision making that made me think, okay, this is why. And in the end, I thought once it got to penalties, I knew we were going to lose. Even though penalties are 50-50, but when I was seeing some of the people that were coming up and taking the penalties, I just thought, oh my goodness. And as soon as literally all of those players missed those penalties, my heart just sank. Not for England, because I knew that was going to happen. I knew they weren't going to win anyway. Not because they're bad, but they just have such a great manager. Like, Mancini is a genius. People forget what he done for City in the Premier League when he first came. Like, he helped put them on the map by delivering them their first Premier League title. Like, that's a manager like that, a tactical genius like that, should not be so easily forgotten or underlooked, and quite rightly so. And that was the difference for me. A better manager than the other, really. And of course, we'll get into it afterwards, but the abuse that came afterwards was disgusting. But congratulations to Italy. They deserved it.
Before I ask Rachel what she thinks, I think I agree with you with most of what you said. Well, all of it, to be honest. I just think it's a case of, I think Italy were the better team, even though England was still, they went 1-0 up early, and, they kind of held it out till the end. Obviously, we got to penalties. England are not great at penalties. English players are not great at penalties. So it was always going to be very sort of, I would have been shocked if Italy had lost on pens in that situation, simply because they have so many penalty takers in their team.
And a fantastic goalkeeper. Did you see just before the penalty kickoff when they were hugging? Donnarumma literally looked like Pickford's dad. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And I think Pickford was probably our best player in that game as well. Well, I say I'm not an England fan, but yeah, he was probably the best player. I thought Calvin Phillips was solid as well. But yeah, I think I just, like you said earlier, I think in that team, if you think about it realistically, Harry Kane and Raheem Sterling were the only two attacking players. And when I say attacking players, I mean attack-minded and actually players that want to attack with the ball on the pitch. Everyone else was either a defender, a defensive midfielder, or Mason Mount as a number 10 who is defensive-minded, or his best qualities are defensive. So for me, like you say, when we went 1-0 up, he should have gone for it, because at the end of the day, worst case scenario, it goes 1-1, and at least you've got the players on there that can kind of like, score you a goal or set something or create something. Because Grealish, as we know, he does have an agenda against Grealish. We've seen it before. One time they asked him a question about Grealish and he went on to Mason Mount. It was not relevant. And I saw it from then. I think he got forced by the public, kind of peer pressured into taking Grealish in the first place. I don't think he wanted to take him. And then he didn't use him very often. And he tried to kind of not use him if he didn't have to, sort of thing. And I just think you've got a player like that can create. If you're going to play Mason Mount, play him as an 8 and play 1 DM. Like, it's simple to me. So I think if Mancini is the England manager and Southgate is the Italian manager, England win that game. So I agree with you on the management thing. But yeah, Rachel, what were your thoughts? I'd just like to say that before I forgot.
That's right. I thought England were good for the first half an hour of the game. I think obviously the early goals helped. I thought they played quite well. They pressed really well, and Italy's midfield didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I think that you were right. There wasn't enough attacking threat, not enough creativity, and I think that Southgate should have made changes around the 60th minute.
Yeah.
To bring on some of those players, because they started to sit back a little bit and just invite pressure, and then Italy started to get control in the midfield, and that's when they started to dominate and create more chances. But as much as I don't like the Mount in 10 thing, I understand why he did it at first, because he wanted to make sure that they could control the midfield. Even though Grealish can press, he doesn't press as well as Mount. Like, that's just factually correct. So I think he wanted the control first.
As much as Mount, I agree with you in that. And like defensively, that's probably why Southgate went for Mount, because it suits the whole defensive approach. But Jack Grealish is a foul player for a reason. Like,
I agree. That's why he should have brought him on during the first 90 minutes. But I understand he wanted to be stable first, because Italy are the superior team in this scenario, remember? So I think he wanted Jack. I think he would have made him out there just for the stability. And when you're 1-0 up, it puts you in a strong position. And I think he was just a bit of a coward. And you know what I found very strange, right? Italy defended very narrow, and there was a lot of space on the wings. And you would have thought Jadon Sancho or Rashford would have come on sooner to try and win the game in extra time, or even during the 90 minutes. And he settled for penalties. I don't agree with that. It's the same thing that Ollie did, right, in the Europa League final. You can bring someone on to try and change things a little bit, and he didn't do it. So I think that's something he either needs to learn and change, or he's just going to fail again at that level. But you know what was crazy? I don't support England in international tournaments, and during the streams we did a watch along. I became an England supporter for about 2 minutes, just because I really didn't want Rashford's penalty to lose them the game. Obviously, Sancho and Saka missed it as well, and I was devastated. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and I'm just so tilted from it, because it's like the last couple of days, even for me personally, the amount of abuse that's gone on is insane, and I'm bored of it, really bored of it, to be honest with you. So the whole thing is a bit of a joke, I'm being honest with you.
Obviously, we'll go on to that, because I've said for a very long time that I don't support England. My reasons for not supporting England is because of the fans, and it's not everyone, so don't get offended if you support England. I'm not calling everyone out, but it is.
Big ups, Sian, because Jamaica won, I think, the other night too.
Yeah, we won our first game. But yeah, I've never been a big fan of England, mainly because when I was younger, it was kind of like half Man United, half Liverpool, and then maybe loads of United players, loads of Liverpool players, and then maybe a few Chelsea. So it was like, apart from Sean Wright-Phillips and the odd other person, like, we didn't really have a Man City representative in the England team. So I kind of supported England when I was a kid, because I live in England and everything like that. When I got a bit older and I started to kind of see the sort of fans that they have, I don't feel connected to England in that way. I am not surprised at what happened. I knew it would happen. I thought Raheem Sterling would be the one that would get a lot of the abuse. I think because he didn't take a penalty, you would think, he would get away with it, but he's still being slated for not taking a penalty.
I'm so glad he took him off for that. Because if he was one of the penalty takers,
10 times worse than it is.
Oh, apologies, guys.
It's all right. But yeah,
even Angel agrees.
Yeah, so it's like, that's what I mean. So I didn't want Sterling. I wanted Sterling to score in the final, because I knew if he didn't score in the final, all of that work that he's done would be forgotten about, and whoever scored the winner, it would all go on to them. And it would be like, he had a great tournament, he was carrying England, and, the first little bit of, I don't know, a poor game or something like that, anything they can slate him for, they jump on him. And we've seen it already, like, people say he should have taken a penalty. He's taken 5 penalties in his professional career. He's missed 3. It's not the best time for him. And I agree that he's more senior and maybe he should have taken one. And I thought he should have taken one myself. But the thing is, if he'd have missed, people would have said he's missed 3 out of 5. Why would you give him a penalty? when he has missed many. So it kind of, with penalties, it's all about who's feeling confident, who's ready to take one. Maybe he wasn't feeling ready to take one. I don't know. I don't think he would have refused to take one, but I just don't think he would have stepped forward. So yeah, I felt like throughout the competition, I was like, Sterling, just don't fuck it up. Like, just don't fuck it up. Because I know, like, other players can do anything and get away with it. And with Raheem Sterling in particular, he is not one of them players. The minute he does wrong, people are on his case. We've seen it a bit with Rashford more recently. I think it's weird because he's like feeding kids and then people are still angry with him. It's just weird to me.
I don't understand. Like, what
I don't get it either.
Can I just say something actually regarding Rashford?
Yeah.
I'm sick to death of our fans getting onto Rashford's back. And anytime he has a poor performance, yes, you can criticize him for the performance, but can we stop with the abuse of one of our own players?
Yeah.
Criticism's fine, but stop abusing him like he's committed crimes. And stop saying, and this victim blaming thing, I won't name names because I think people know who it is, but this whole thing of, oh, you know, if Rashford didn't, you know, focus on politics, or if he didn't do the politics and the PR stuff, then maybe he won't get racially abused. This is unacceptable, and it's basically victim blaming. You cannot blame someone for the racist abuse that they received. That's not how it works. The people who are being racist are the ones that need to be condemned, not the person being abused. So I would like it if people could stop doing that, especially Manchester United fans, because you're a disgrace if you do, if I'm honest with you.
Also, I was just going to say, talking of politics, big up Tyrone Mings for correctly dragging that.
I hate her. I hate her.
Yeah, that hoe, innit? So big up Tyrone Mings for correctly and articulately dragging her ass on Twitter. Good. How dare she, the filthy hypocrite.
Oh, fucking dickhead. Can't stand her. I knew from when I saw her in an England shirt, I just wanted to throw up. This one.
You mean the one she just took out the packet and you can see the lines? That one there?
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. Imagine you go to football and she sat next to you. I would ask for her to be kicked out. Like, I'm not saying bitch. The fuck? But yeah,
also this point as well, he's been carrying a long-term injury for something like 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 injuries.
Yeah.
Like,
two injuries.
I don't know if you've seen it, but even like Man City keep like bigging up Rashford. Like, they keep tweeting him saying we're proud of him. That's Man City. Like, we have no like loyalty to Man United, but what he's doing in Manchester, football aside, you know, is big. And you know, it's kind of the same with our owner. Like, our owner's not helping to feed kids, but he's helping to house people. He's built £3 million worth of council houses in Manchester. So you've got Man United fans slagging him off, oil money, while probably living in a house paid for by him. It's crazy. But
you know what's crazy as well, though? Our clubs off the football pitch, our clubs have actually been united in a lot of things. People are not understanding this. Yes, there's a rivalry on the football pitch. We know that. But off the football pitch, our clubs have been united and they've actually supported each other through the tough times. So, you know, off the football pitch, you have to respect what Manchester City have done, and on it, obviously. But I'm saying off it, don't use it against them. You know how I feel about this. I don't care if oil people come in and whatnot. I like the fact that they've done that because the Premier League is actually more interesting. But in terms of off the pitch, you can't diss them at all.
Yeah, I was going to say also big up to everybody in Manchester for what they did on that mural of Marcus Rashford. The support, everything since that final has been amazing. So big ups to you guys for blocking up that disgusting writing with the graffiti, for laying down all the flowers, for taking those photos, showing the support because he deserves it.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's mad as well? You know how you were saying about how, you know, people will say, oh, if you didn't do this PR stuff. What is crazy, and people keep pointing it out, which is good, is when people say things like, don't racially abuse Marcus Rashford. He's feeding people's kids. And it's kind of like, even if he was a criminal, he still shouldn't be getting racially abused. So it's like, why is it don't racially abuse him because he's a good person? I don't care if he's a good person. He could be the biggest prick at Man United, but he shouldn't be getting racially abused because he missed a penalty in a shootout where 3 people missed a penalty, and obviously, unfortunately, they were all black, so it's one of them.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I personally feel like England got what they deserve, because some of these fans, right, they're so racist, and Sterling carried them to the final and they didn't want to admit it. So I think it's kind of funny in a way how 3 black guys missed. Like, I wish they weren't getting abused, but I think it's kind of funny that these racist people had to go and watch 3 black guys throw away their best chance of a trophy. I love it myself. But
It was calculated. It's the big brain play. That's what it is.
We knew what was going to happen after, unfortunately. You know, if somebody said it the other day, if you're surprised by this, then you've not understood the whole Black Lives Matter thing in the first place, because this is what everyone expected. I saw people on Twitter saying, I hope none of the black people miss a penalty. You know, I hope none of the black players miss. We knew
people saying that on Twitter just before the penalty shootouts. I saw that and I was just like,
loads of people
and when all 3 of them missed it, that's literally why my heart dropped, because I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. And when I saw Saka's face, I just wanted to just reach out, give him the biggest hug, and just literally just protect him away from all of these vultures that I knew were going to come for his neck. Because like, when I look at him, like, I don't have any brothers, older or younger, but I looked at him and I literally just saw like, my little brother, and I was just like, oh my God, like, this is horrible. You do not deserve this.
No.
You do not deserve this. When his mum was hugging him afterwards, I was literally just thinking, I hope she's saying in his ear, like, honey, you should have chose Nigeria. You would be a legend right now, because that's literally what I was thinking. Like, especially after they lost in that way, and after I saw all of that, I was like, good. You do not deserve this trophy, because we're all united. We're all together. You know, when things are going well, suddenly somebody, 1 or 2 people make a mistake, and suddenly it's stay in your lane. You're not English. You're not British. Like, you're not one of us, basically. Like, you asked this for us. And it's just like, what? Are you serious? Like, even the behavior, like what I was seeing on Twitter, the videos that are being uploaded, beating up, not even just the Italian fans, because they were beaten up. They were literally attacking and beating up the rival Italian supporters that came to watch the game. They're beating up ethnic minorities within their own fan base, still in Wembley, in the ground. And as they're leaving, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not, that doesn't surprise me either. Like, honestly, like, I just feel like because every club has racist fans. We know this, you know what I mean? A lot of people have said in the past, like, yeah, United fans are this and Liverpool fans are that. And it's like, it's a Premier League problem. It's not a club-specific problem.
And obviously, like, we hear it about my club all the time, just racist FC.
It's not just in this country, though. Like, I know Premier League's bad, but lower leagues are worse. And I've been to games where they're horrendous and nothing is done about it. And then you've got the European teams as well.
League, the Bulgarian league, all of them countries.
The ones that actually throw bananas at their players. Just saying.
But this is the thing, though, because like with England, it's a societal problem. We know that, and then it goes into football. Obviously, most of the kind of football fans are all right. You know, it isn't a majority at club level, but I feel like a lot of the racists at each club all kind of support England. So it's like not all English fans are racist, but all racist fans are English in that respect. Because obviously, when we're talking about England, these people, everyone's English, isn't it? So it's not going to be the black or the Asian people as much that are the racist ones. So it's kind of like, I feel like when there's an England game, it's probably not a minority. Whereas at your football club, it might be a minority. I don't think it is when it's England. And I think, I don't know. I've been to one England game. And it was because it was free. And I don't think I'd ever go back. Like, it's not for me. It's really not for me. But I think like it's just, I don't know. It is a problem across the leagues. It's a problem across countries. I know Mesut Ozil said about how he's Turkish when they lose and he's German when they win. And who else said it as well? Someone else. Benzema said it. He's French when they win and he's Algerian when they lose. Yep. So we've seen it a lot, and it's not just a British problem. But just because it's not just a British problem doesn't mean it's okay. And I think what a lot of fans like to do is deflect. Like, oh, well, we might have racist problems, but Italy are worse. well, yeah, we know Italy are bad. We know. Like, they didn't even have a black player. They didn't even take Moise Keane. Like, I don't know what's going on there.
Do you know what it is, though? It's not even that now. It's the straight up dismissal. I heard one guy, right, say so-called racism. Like, it's not even a real thing. Like, it's a myth. Like, it's a unicorn.
Yeah.
That's how they're talking about it.
Yeah.
So-called racism. They're like, and they're saying things like this country doesn't have a problem. It does have a problem, just like multiple countries do. Just because other countries are worse doesn't mean that there's not a problem in this country. I don't understand. This country, we know the history of this country.
But they say
that's all I'm going to say about that.
Country's more tolerant, and it's like that's not something to be proud of. Like, it's more tolerant. That means it isn't tolerant, but it's more tolerant than another country. Like, oh, great, you know, it's you're not going to get racially abused every day. You might get racially abused every other day. See, it's better than another country. No, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's honestly people that it's kind of like me. Like, I'm straight, you could say. So it's like I don't receive homophobic abuse. I don't. But just because I don't receive it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Whereas these people that don't experience racism are like, oh, racism doesn't exist because I've never heard it. And it's like, you're a white male living in a white area with white friends. Where are you going to hear racism? Obviously, you're not going to experience it. So it's not that it doesn't exist. It's just you don't know it exists because it doesn't get targeted towards you. The same way I don't receive racism in terms of, you know, like Asian racism or Islamophobic abuse, because they don't look at me and see me as a Muslim. So I don't receive that abuse. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And it's just, yeah, I think this country have a very much, if you don't see it, it doesn't happen approach to everything. And it's just, I don't know. I'm hoping that
bliss, isn't it?
I'm hoping that this kind of, as bad as it was, I'm hoping that this is kind of another thing that opens people's eyes to it. Because I know with Black Lives Matter, when people saw what happened with George Floyd, people that did try and deny it before actually were saying, whoa, okay, that is not acceptable. And it did open some people's eyes, because I saw, like, even like my white cousin, like I've said before, my white family don't talk about race. Like, they don't mention that we're mixed race. They don't, you know, they're all white on that side, and they don't really mention it. But at the same time, like, when this whole Black Lives Matter thing happened, my cousin was like educating herself and like watching videos and saying, like, I didn't, you know, I'll never know what it's like to be a black person, but blah, 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 blah. And I was like, she would have never done that before. So I was like, I quite like how people were kind of, you know, getting involved that when they were before. You know, she doesn't have anyone black in her life apart from us. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
you guys are family as well. So that means she cares about you. So it's just, it's obviously like, it's crazy to think that, wow, these are people I care about. And just because of how they look like slightly different, they're going to get this abuse and I'm not going to get it. So, and again, it's about opening people's eyes and having those difficult conversations. Like, I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this because of who I am. You know, it's sad that I am privileged enough that this isn't going to happen to me, but I'm also disgusted that it's going to happen to you over something you can't control.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. And I think, like, even the response that we've seen, because let's be honest, people are pissed off. England have lost the final, you know. I don't think it's really about the penalty takers, because once you go to penalties, it's hit or miss, literally. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's penalties is always risky. England aren't good at penalties, regardless of who steps up. We know that. I don't think if he'd have put 3 other people on, they would have all scored anyway. So they would have probably lost. I
mean, Jorginho missed a penalty. He's one of the best penalty takers in the world. So anything can happen.
But you know what? Nobody's going to mention it because they won.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. If Rashford misses and then Sancho scores and then Saka scores, no one cares about Rashford's penalty. It's just
nobody's going to mention it.
Yeah, no one's going to. I think that game was lost in the 90 minutes because they had an opportunity to go for it and they didn't. You then had an extra half an hour to go for it and you didn't. So penalties was always going to be a case of, and it's not even like it's penalties against Spain. It's penalties against Italy, who are one of the best nations for taking penalties apart from like Germany. So it's like, it's just one of them situations. Like, I don't know. For me, it's nice to kind of see the support that's come out after it, because it's more it's more than I would have expected. Because I thought, because people would be so annoyed, people would be like, oh, well, I've seen a few people that are saying, why are we praising players that miss? But it's like, they're not praising the players for missing. They're supporting the players against the racial abuse that they're receiving. So it's not that they're saying, oh, some people are like, you're a hero for stepping up, which, fair enough. It's part of the game. It's part of their job. They kind of have to step up. But obviously,
I would say Saka more so, because even though they are still quite young, Rashford and Sancho do have a little bit more experience than Saka. I think it was to put Saka in that position, the 5th penalty taker, and he hasn't even taken one for Arsenal, and he's supposedly carrying that whole team. So that was just, I think Harry Kane should have been the 5th penalty taker. I would have liked to see Calvin Phillips step up. I know Harry Maguire took the best penalty. He took a brilliant penalty.
Do you think Harry Kane taking a penalty last is a good idea?
On Stones, I would have liked to see him take a penalty. And I know these guys can, even Jack Grealish ahead of Saka.
Yeah.
I think that's bad management, though, because even if Saka turned around and said, I want to take the 5th one, he should have said no. Because I think what should have happened is, fair enough, Harry Kane taking the 1st one, because you want to get off to a good start.
Yeah.
The 1st one to build the confidence. I get that. Harry Kane, fine. But I think somebody else, an experienced player, should have been 5th.
Or so even Luke Shaw, actually. I forgot about Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, he can take penalties. He should have taken one, I think.
But I think Rashford should have been in the 5th.
And also, talking of, if you're going to pick people to take the penalties, why not pick people who've had a brilliant tournament? And Luke Shaw had a brilliant tournament. He's been amazing, easily one of the best players. So
I think, like you say, I said that Shaw should probably have taken the last one, either Rashford or Shaw, right? And the reason why is because Rashford takes penalties. He takes more penalties than a lot of the other players, apart from Harry Kane. So he's a more experienced penalty taker. And I think, like you say, Luke Shaw, because if Luke Shaw misses the penalty, people can't get onto him because he scored the 1st goal. So it's kind of like, I'm the reason why we got penalties in the 1st place. So he should have probably taken the last one in hindsight. But you know what? I think the decision was made. It might have, even if it was in a different order, the same people might still have missed. And they might still have gone out. But I think there has definitely other players there that could have taken a penalty. And, I think Shaw's not under as much pressure as them other players, just simply because of how he's played in this tournament, and simply because of the fact that he isn't going to get racially abused at the end of it.
Man have been out here calling him Shawberto Carlos. That's perfect gas for this guy to step up and take a penalty.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so good during the tournament. He was excellent. I'm really happy for him because, you guys all know what he's been through with his injuries. A lot of people would say that he's had enough years, but I don't think people realize just how bad the injury actually was and how he could have had his leg amputated. I don't know if you guys know, but he was going to get his leg amputated. That's how bad it was. So psychologically, it affected him. And then when you add in, Jose Mourinho and his ways, I don't know how you expect Luke Shaw to succeed in that environment with having gone through that injury as well. It's very difficult. So I'm really happy for him, to be honest with you.
Did you guys see what Mourinho said, by the way, after that game?
What did he say?
Mourinho thing to say about Luke, when in response about Luke Shaw's performance, like for United the whole season, obviously in the Euros performances. It's such a Mourinho thing to say. Oh my God. I think it was something like, he knew or something. He knew that he had this potential. Oh, yeah.
So it's just his fault that he didn't get it out of him.
People in the comments are saying about Southgate, but he went round with he says, obviously we don't know how true it is. He says that he picked the order. You do see him on camera going to each person saying, are you okay to take it? Blah, blah, blah. You can see that he's saying that, and you can see they're all saying, yeah.
And you can see the order that he's pointing at them. That's the order that he stepped up and took the penalties. So you saw him walking over to Sancho, and then Rashford, and then Saka, and that there was actually 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So,
but I say it a lot when I see a young player stepping up.
I think Pickford was supposed to be after Saka if it had gone to sudden death.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is he any good at penalties? He must be if he's going to be switched.
Apparently.
I don't know. I know the thing is, I know they train and I know they try and stuff like that. I know certain players, you know, will say that they're confident and go for it. But I just think to put all that pressure on a 19-year-old boy, I just think, I don't mind him taking a penalty, but he shouldn't have been the fifth one. Shouldn't have been the fifth one because it's just,
I think he should have been lower down the list if it kept on going, basically.
Yeah. Either lower down or even before. And then at least it's
second or third person. Yeah, second or third person then, or at least the sixth or seventh person if it went that far.
I think it depends on your strategy though, because a lot of people do that thing where they put the best players last, right? But the problem with that is that if it doesn't get to the last player, then it's basically a waste. But then there's the other side of it where you put your best penalty takers for the first couple to build momentum. So we don't know what the strategy exactly was, to be fair. So I think putting Kane first signals to me that he wanted to put the best penalty takers first. So Kane, apparently, I didn't know Harry Maguire could take penalties like that. But
yeah, he can. That was a great penalty.
But he put because I don't know, maybe he did because he put obviously Kane, who is the best penalty taker. Then he put Maguire, who I don't know how many penalties taken, but it was a good one. And I know then he had Rashford. So maybe, like you say, he was thinking if we score them 3, hopefully it won't matter by the time we get to Sancho and then Saka. But it's like, I don't know. I think I never agree with it. I've seen it before. I'm sure Pep did it once with Foden. And he took the last one, and I think he scored. I'm sure it was Foden. And I was just like, I don't agree with it because if they score, great, builds their confidence.
Wait, that was against us. That was against us, wasn't it? In the Carabao Cup final when Kepa refused to come off for penalties.
I think it was Sterling that scored the winning penalty in that.
Was it?
I think Foden's was against Liverpool in the Community Shield.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Might be wrong, but I'm sure it was because I know Sterling scored the winner against Chelsea. But the thing is, it's like even Sterling. The reason why I wouldn't want Sterling is for obvious reasons, as we've discussed. I wouldn't have wanted Sterling there. But at the same time, I don't know. I think he would have. He's more experienced than Saka. So simply for that reason.
And what was going on with that wasted substitution with Jordan Henderson? That was
he took him on and then took him off.
Yeah, what the
he did the same thing with Grealish the game before, didn't he? So I don't know what he's thinking of there. I don't know. Henderson can take penalties, right?
He can, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he can take penalties, but he must be. He would have been a better option than Saka. Like, I'm just confused about the Saka thing. The other penalty takers, I understand them.
Yeah.
I just think the Saka thing was. I get that he would have offered to take one, but 19-year-old Saka with his little baby face. I'm devastated for Rashford and Sancho, but the Saka one just broke my heart, to be honest with you. I'm really sad. But,
I think it's just I never agree with it. I know people like say, oh, you know, if he wants to take one, let him take one. Of course, he's a footballer. He wants to step up. He wants to take one. But I think it's the manager to decide ultimately who takes it because, you know, we went through a stage where we kept missing penalties and everyone was like, Pep, you need to sort it out because you can't just let these players decide for themselves and then they're missing. Like, give it to someone that can actually take pens. So, I don't know. I think everyone's saying Henderson's shit. But yeah, you never know though, because some of the shittest players, some people that are terrible. If you look at Man City as an example, we are terrible at penalties in game. But penalty shootouts, we tend to win. We do well at penalty shootouts, so it's weird. But our players are shit at pens in general.
Which penalty shootouts have you been in apart from the Chelsea one that you were talking about?
Chelsea against Liverpool twice. Once was 2016, once was in the Cup. We had 2 against Leicester, I think it was in 2 different cups, I think. 2 against Leicester. Just trying to think. We've had a few, not loads and loads, but we've had a few. But Yeah, we're not the worst at them, which is strange because we're not very good at, in-game pens.
Yeah, that is strange to be honest with you, because I think this. How many did you miss this season? You missed quite a few this season, didn't you?
Yeah, they missed loads. They missed one against Liverpool. They missed one against De Bruyne. Missed one. Don't even know who that was against. We missed Aguero. Missed one against Chelsea.
Oh yeah, remember that one.
Oh my god, there was a few. Loads of different players missed it. It's just like, can any of you take pens? Like, no, seriously. We used to have Balotelli where it was a goal. Like, you got a pen and you were like, yes, we've won.
Yeah, no one's more confident and chilled out with it than him. I tell you. I remember that guy. He was very talented, Balotelli. He was very talented, Balotelli.
Yeah.
He was sometimes he just wouldn't turn up at all. And then next game, he would be like one of the best players on the pitch.
I know.
Crazy.
And
then he went to Liverpool and it was all over.
I know.
I absolutely loved his attitude, man. He was so hilarious. Do you know what's I feel really bad for him because he could have had such a great career if it wasn't for the injuries as well. Yeah. And I have to say, he was one of the people that we talk about racism, yeah. Whew.
Oh my god, yeah.
I got
from his home country as well, because he was Italian as well. He got it a lot.
That's what that was the moment I was just like, I'm sorry, some of these Black players need to think very carefully about playing for their European counterparts like France, like England, like Italy, like Spain as well, because the racism is just it's disgusting the way they treat their players. Like we talk about Italy, which is a great example on what they did to Balotelli. France, and literally more than half their squad is Black as well. So it's disgusting, mate.
No, I agree.
But that's the thing though, because it's like people always say, because they'll say things like, I like Kante, like he's one of the good ones, and it's just like, I'm not being funny, but I know Kante is calm and blah blah blah, like he's a
really humble person as well.
Yeah, he's really humble, he's cool, but it's like, even if the Black footballer is loud, obnoxious, whatever, he still shouldn't get racially abused. Like, it shouldn't be, we don't abuse Kante because Kante is humble, but we're going to abuse this player because they're a bit louder, they're a bit more out there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they see Kante as the obedient one because he's smiling, he just gets some of his job, which is an interesting undertone. Yeah.
The way it comes across to me, that's why I don't really care whether Kante is a nice person or not. I don't really care. I don't want to see him racially abused. I also don't want to see Pogba racially abused. I don't care what they're like outside of football. We don't know any of these players personally. Well, I don't know any of these players personally. So it's like, we don't know what they're like as a person. So all we're getting it from is obviously the press, which like their agendas, as we know. And it's just you see it all the time. You see it even at City, Fernandinho's cool, but Sterling. And it's like, Sterling's never done anything. He's not done anything that they've said. He's not greedy. He's not money hungry. He's not like that any more than anyone else.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know, even before Marcus Rashford and his whole campaign, Sterling so much charity. I think he has a foundation, or I think 2 different foundations as well.
One in London.
He does so much for the community. He does so much for charity. The guy gives back so much, and he's been doing it for years. And the abuse that he gets. So this is literally, when I saw the whole Marcus Rashford abuse for what he's doing, I was just like, can't win with these people. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I don't know what they want from it. I just don't know what they want.
Yeah, they get cussed for buying a house for their mum.
What, do you want their mum to live on the street?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just ridiculous. The amount of conversations I've had about this, it's madness. It's actually madness.
Yeah.
The fact that you talk about abuse, you talk about violence, and we've seen a lot of that online, a lot of that trending on social media, on YouTube, on streams, literally ever since the final, even sometimes a little bit before that as well. And when you hear a story, because I think Jeremiah mentioned it in the chat earlier as well, and I did hear the story and it broke my heart, because I'm thinking, this is what we're trying to avoid. This is what hate eventually leads to. People killing each other because they're so hateful. Their ignorance just literally just consumes them. They take over and they think somebody's life is not worth it. So they think they have the power, the authority, the entitlement to take somebody's life. This girl's probably gone out with her friends or family, whatever, just to enjoy, you know, a European final game. This is what international football is about. It's supposed to bring us all together. And she's lost her life because of a few disgusting, violent individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
And literally, like you guys said, and we're not supposed to talk about it. We're playing the race card. What racism? This, that, and the other. I mean, just we were talking about it obviously before we went live as well, Jan. Just that whole thing that happened on Twitter yesterday of that guy just randomly injecting himself in, just because he just wanted to just express this racial abuse, hate, and not just to me, to you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, to Usman, to Leon, Koja, everybody else who was like responding to the thread as well, because it was in response to, I think, an advertisement, a promotion of a show on Usman's channel. And that response from this one person, this one ignorant, disgusting racist troll, like he was so determined. Literally, I think he added each one of us individually, literally wrote a whole separate tweet just insulting us, because we all deserved our own racial insults, guys. And it's absolutely terrible. I'm seeing like monkey emojis, bananas on other streams that I've been on since the final as well. Literally just like, and not even just women of color, and just women in general, like that sexism, abuse, and hate is ever increasing. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And I think even me and I think 2 other female YouTubers that we were tagged into that post as well today. And I think Rachel, you saw that as well. Where it's just some ignorance, just some hate. Like, I don't even know who this person is. So and all of this stuff, like, it's disgusting. It's horrible. It needs to stop. At the end of the day, like, we are still human beings. There's only so much we can take. Like, a lot of people have a lot of difficult stuff going on in their lives, not only just because of this whole COVID thing. Some people have even worse before that. And this is the time, because of everything that's happening, we need to actually be supporting each other, not dragging people down. Like, it's not right. It is not right. It needs to stop, because you've seen the worst case scenario. This is how this stuff happens, guys. It escalates. It's an escalation. You could, when you act blind, or, you know, turn a blind eye, act like you didn't see something, or you just ignore an incident that happened. This is how it gains traction, because these people know there's no consequences to their actions. So next time, I'm going to be even more racist. I'm going to say this. Next time, I'm going to punch somebody. Next time, I'm going to bottle somebody. Next time, I'm going to throw acid in their face. Next time, I'm going to kill them. Yeah.
There's literally not, like, I know Mal was saying, I saw like some tweets that she said about some of the abuse that she got, and it's just like, the police don't do anything about it. Like, no one really does anything about it until it gets really serious, and then it's like too late. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them things. Like, I've had a lot of it in my life, not really now, to be honest. As I've got older, I get it on Twitter, obviously, but in general, I don't really get a lot. But when I was a kid, I used to get it all the time. And, you know, it's just like, you just get, I'm just tired of it. Like, it's 2021. We shouldn't still have this same conversation. Like, I remember when I did a dissertation when I was at uni on racism in football. And at that time, there wasn't a lot out there, because it was kind of not, it was brushed under the carpet. So the media were kind of just publishing all these stories about, I think I spoke about Balotelli at the time, because they were putting stuff out about him. And there's a lot of it. I wrote about the difference between how they speak about Rooney and how they speak about Yaya Toure, and like the words that they use. With Yaya Toure, it was strong, athletic, this, that. With Rooney, it was intelligent, this, that, and the other. And obviously we spoke about that. And even like this tournament, we've seen with Sterling, it's like Sterling gets into the positions that he gets into because of his intelligence. and you still get people trying to argue you down that he's not intelligent, and it's just like, how? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he is in the positions he's in. He misses some of the chances that he misses because he.
You know the first goal he scored.
Yeah.
You know the first goal he scored against the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I just seen on Twitter that should have been Saka's goal. That should have been. I was like, what? Yeah. He missed the ball, and Sterling was perfectly positioned.
Yeah.
So he should be his goal.
No, Sterling gets a lot of hate for no reason, to be honest with you.
Why are people they're that determined to not give this guy praise or props? That is so baffling.
And it's mad. Like, people actually bend over backwards to discredit him. It is madness. Like, because I always say, obviously, I support Man City. Sterling's not like my favorite player, but I end up defending him constantly. And it's not because he's my favorite player. It's because I don't need to defend Fernandinho, because Fernandinho is like a Kante. Like, he's quite quiet. We don't know much about his private life. People don't really slate him. Like, you might get people saying, oh, he's dirty or whatever. But in general, people don't really slate him too much. I don't really have to defend Fernandinho.
Absolutely phenomenal in his position. Yeah. Nobody can hold a midfield better than him. There's few people who can do it successfully. He's one of them. Kante is obviously another.
Fabinho.
I know that fans would try and argue for Fabinho, but
Fabinho is one of the best DMs in the world. 100%.
In moments, yeah. If the system's right. Sometimes I honestly think like Klopp does hang him out to dry. I think this year is a lot to do with the fact that obviously there was injuries to a lot of the squad, so he was kind of moving from midfield to centre back. But his versatility shows that he is that kind of player. So he is versatile.
Yeah, he's a fantastic centre back, funnily enough, and a fantastic right back, and a fantastic CDM. He's a fantastic player. I hate that they have him. Like, he's a very, very good player.
I'm still not going to forget the day that Billy Gilmore sent him back to training, mate. Sent him back to training in that FA Cup round.
Yeah, I think all three of them are very, very good. I think they work in our squads perfectly. Do you know what I mean? Fernandinho for us, Kante for you, and Fabinho for Liverpool. So, yeah, it's one of them things. I think. But I just end up defending Sterling like he's my brother or something. Like, I'm constantly like, no. And it's like, he had a very poor season this season. Like, he started quite poorly. He had a middle spell where he was quite good, actually. He scored both goals against Arsenal. We won both games 1-0. He scored both of the goals. I think he scored 9 goals in that spell, where we went like 21 games unbeaten or something like that. He scored like 9 goals across them games. And then he fell off a bit at the end. And to be honest, towards the end of the season, he was poor. Like, when I saw him starting that front lineup with Ferran Torres, who is still young, and Gabby, I was like, we're not scoring goals in these games. And we didn't. We didn't score goals in a lot of them games where they started as a front three. But with Sterling, like they say, form is temporary, class is permanent. And I know what Sterling can do. So what he did at the Euros is not surprising to me, because I see Sterling do that a lot. But it's kind of like, because people get onto him so much, I was defending him all season. I would have loved to have sat on streams and been like, Sterling's been shit the last 2 weeks. I'm not doing that, because it just allows people to push their sort of racist agendas and, oh, he's shit and this and that. He's not shit. Like, if you look at his numbers,
you forget as a 17-year-old, he was so critical and so important in that Liverpool team. Like, you remember that front three of Sterling, Suarez, and Sturridge, and Coutinho in that cam position right behind them. They almost won the league. Like, he was phenomenal. Like, you can't deny his talents, guys.
He was.
Sterling's a talented player.
Yeah, and he was 17. Like, he was
the only thing I'll cuss him for really is his finishing. I think his finishing is horrendous.
Yeah.
Bad.
But they had other people on the teams, obviously.
And they create 10,000 chances a game, so he can afford to miss a couple at times. Not always, but at times he can afford to miss a couple.
But that's the thing, though, with Sterling, because his one-on-one finishing is not the best. We know that. But the reason why he gets so many chances is because he gets into the positions that no one else gets into to get them chances in the first place. So like you say, he can probably afford to miss a few, you know, and still win the game. But like, it's mad because like a few years ago, like I think it was 17-18 when he just had a great season. And there was 2 players above him for like goals and assists. And it was Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. It was them 2 above him, you know. And it's just like, he just doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He just doesn't, you know. I think it was, I don't think it was at the end of the season. I think it was kind of sort of over a year or something like that. I don't think it was like a whole season. But yeah, he was doing really well at that time. Obviously, his form is up and down. But what people fail to remember about Sterling is Sterling plays almost every game. So when your club is not in Europe and your club are playing 38 games a season plus maybe 10 cup games altogether, that's 48 games. He's playing over 60. Like, this is Man City plays so many games and he is basically fit the whole season. So he doesn't get a rest. So like, I think he was worn out this season. We've seen it with Mane at Liverpool. You know, we've seen it with Liverpool in general. They were knackered because you can't play at that level consistently year in, year out, and then maintain the high level of form. Like, it's not realistic. And I think
it's like with the Rashford thing as well, right? We can't afford to drop Rashford or rest him, right? We can't afford to drop him or rest him.
Yeah.
And he's been injured for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had time to have surgery.
Exactly.
He should have, to be honest with you, my opinion is that he shouldn't have gone to the Euros and he should have actually had the surgery already. But
because he wasn't
only having his surgery now. That's insane.
Keep him, let him stay home. You're not even playing him in the Euros.
I agree. Yeah, mental.
Makes sense, to be honest.
He does.
Was his name Rex? Is it Rex? Is that the name of the dinosaur in Toy Story?
I don't even know, but he's cute. Bless his heart. I love Sterling.
I wouldn't describe it as cute, but it's funny.
Have you seen all the people that mock him? Like, I think Neymar was mocking.
Do you know what? It's the arms and the hips. Yes.
And he always sticks out his ass, but whether he's standing still or running, his ass is always sticking out.
Big batty. People talk about Hazard. He's got a big batty, you know.
But is it big or is it because he sticks it out?
I don't know. I think
like
he's
the angle.
look like that. I do think he sticks out a bit. I don't know.
Ramsey, all right.
I'm so glad somebody else said it because I've always thought that every single time he runs, but I didn't want to say.
Now everyone says that about Sterling. Like, he knows. Like, he laughs when people kind of compare it. It's like Mbappe looking like a mutant ninja turtle. Like, he actually looks.
You know. I'm going to create images now of Sterling on Rex.
No, that Mbappe. Oh my god! All he needs is literally
the
mask. Oh my god!
What his teammates did for him. They got him a shoebox. They got him a present, and he opened the present, and it was a box. And he opened the box, and it was a shoebox, and it like was a designer shoebox. I don't know what design, like Gucci or something like that. And he opened the bag, and it was a mask. It was a mutant ninja turtle mask. I was like, no way. That's something I would do if I was his friend. But yeah, it's just one of them things. Like, sometimes it's just funny, and the players laugh about it as well. Like, they're not too, unless it's like racist or really offensive. I think oh yeah, Dior. It was a Dior box. That was funny. When I saw that, I was dying because I was just like, that is hilarious. Killian Donatello.
Yeah, I just saw.
He does look like a Ninja Turtle, though. He does. Bless him.
Wait.
Do you know how many videos there are of Sterling running? Like, it's mad. It's mad.
Do you know what though? There was Sterling running, and there's that thing that Luke Shaw does before every game where he does like a little shimmy and he like shifts side to side. I'll send it to you later. And there was a video compilation of him always doing it, and it killed me every time. He just kept doing it. I don't think I noticed that. Yeah, I never noticed it until I saw the video, and now I can't stop seeing it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. It's actually really funny.
I don't notice Sterling running like that day to day, but when you notice it, you're like, oh, I'm glad his arms and stuff. Yeah, we do talk about Sterling's hair. Do you know what? Yeah, I can't lie, right? Sterling he's a little bit short, right? But in that Gillette advert, he looks sexy in that advert, like different level.
His son is so cute.
He's gorgeous, isn't he?
I love the way he smiles. Such a beautiful.
I know, he's so cute. He's good at football, you know, that kid.
Is he?
He was showing a video when he was little, and he was like kicking the ball into the net. But you know how babies like kick it and it like rolls. He was actually kicking it properly, and it was going in. And I was just like, at his age at the time, I was thinking he's good at like that's not like a baby kick. Like he was quite good. So
like when you see toddlers like kicking the ball and it like moves a little bit, and then they kick it again and then moves a little bit more, and they're just literally just running around, toddling about, kicking the ball a little bit in front of them, just a little bit.
Yeah. Whereas he looked like he can actually play. Like I know Cristiano Ronaldo's son's been like that from time, and he's obviously a footballer himself now, I think. So yeah, it's just I don't know. Project Raheem Sterling, start seeing guys. The minute boy. We're not doing Project Mbappe because I'm not French. Or whatever he is. So it's got to be Project Raheem Sterling.
The new season of the Ninja Turtles will be released in Paris soon.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm just going to put these pictures up tomorrow. I'm going to be busy, guys. All the pictures of Sterling and Mbappe. It has to be done now. I'm going to enjoy my day tomorrow.
I don't think I could look at Mbappe anymore without imagining. Raphael, Donatello. What's the other one? What is it?
Michelangelo.
Yeah. I was about to say D'Angelo.
I've never seen Mutant Ninja Turtles. I only know
it in years.
Because you know what's funny? You know when you go on an aeroplane and you look at the wing and it has them little like handle things, like a little like yellow like thing. When I was on the plane once with my foster brother, he was like about 4, and he looked out the window and he went, Ninja Turtle, because it looks like they're like, that's like so cute. So they always, every time I get on a plane now and I look at it and I see it, I'm just like, oh, it reminds me of him. But he got adopted when he was 6, and he's like, I think he's like 11 now. So mad.
Aww.
Bless. Grow up so fast. Bunda Army assemble.
Oh my God.
And Leonardo. I forgot. Yeah, there's 4 of them, not 3.
Oh yeah, Leonardo.
One's purple.
Well, bless you, little nerds, telling us who the Ninja Turtles are.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, one's purple, one's red, one's green, I think.
Yeah. One yellow.
And is it yellow or orange? I'm not too sure. Guys, in the comments, what are all their colours again? We forgot.
Hey guys, we're not curves.
Wait.
I go to football. What does Big Al look like? Let me Google it.
I'll get a picture.
Oh my God, he does as well. That's funny. He does look like that.
No. Vibes, you're too much. I'll be saying such things. Does everyone know what Big Al looks like?
Purple and orange, that was their colours. Yeah.
You can tell I never. I haven't seen anything, you know. I've not seen Toy Story.
Wait.
You've not seen Toy Story?
Wait.
I've never watched it.
Did you have childhoods?
Wait.
Yeah.
You've never seen Toy Story?
What did you used to watch? Then? What did you used to watch growing up?
Horror films. Like, I don't know. Like, no, I did watch stuff. Like, I don't know, you know.
I liked the Powerpuff Girls. That was like my thing. I love that.
Okay, Powerpuff Girls, yeah, was kind of fucked up though.
The world, here they come just in time. The Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, but Powerpuff Girls was fun. Do you remember him? One of the enemies in it.
Oh yeah, Mojo Jojo.
No, but there was the guy, the one we didn't even know if he was male or female. His name was him. He wore heels and he was red. Do you remember him?
The red one, like the devilly guy, the devilly looking one, the one that had the weird voice and was like, wee.
Yeah, he looked like a guy, but he had a female voice and he wore heels.
Yeah,
It
and
was
he
weird.
kind of he looked like a bit of a pervert, to be honest.
In a cartoon, when you actually deep it, it's weird.
I've never seen Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Beyblade either, to be fair.
I used to love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay, I think I need to go to bed. This is unacceptable.
I've never. Do you know what? When I was a kid, I used to watch I watched the Rugrats. I watched. I'm trying to think now.
I love the Rugrats.
Cartoon wise, when I was a little kid, I used to be obsessed with this thing called Fatty Bear. Not Fatty Bear. What was it called? Joggy Bear. Joggy Bear, and it was like some proper 90s program. And it was basically this big bear, like this man dressed.
Wait, do you mean Yogi?
Huh?
Do you mean Yogi?
No. It was called Joggy Bear, right? And it was just this man dressed up in a bear outfit, and it was some woman, and they used to do exercises. And I used to be obsessed with this thing.
Was this woman worth watching?
When I was like really little. And then I liked Mr. Blobby, that scary ass thing. Like I used to love that when I was like little. I don't know why, because it's scary as hell.
Mr. Blobby actually creeped me out.
Yeah.
He was creepy.
Yeah, I was like, that's not like, if I was a kid and something like and that came up to me, I would just scream and run to my grandma straight away. Honestly,
My third birthday cake was a Mr. Blobby cake.
oh no,
That's what I like Mr. Blobby that much. It's weird. Like I don't know, but I used to watch like Beetlejuice, Pet Cemetery, all these like horror films.
Impossible was good as well.
Impossible. I also saw somebody say the Power Rangers. I watched every single Power Rangers there was, every single one, literally, because they had like so many different versions as well. So I watched like every single one of them.
I feel like my little brother, like he used to watch things like Powerpuff Girls. Like he used to watch.
I also watched Finding Nemo. Everybody loves.
The real question is, has Jan watched Finding Nemo? That's the real question.
I have seen Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Do you know
She's
what?
human, guys.
I just haven't seen like the films that everyone's seen. Like I don't watch superhero movies, so I've never seen like Batman, Spider-Man. I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen a lot of things that everyone's seen.
Okay, I think we need to do movie night. I'm not joking. This is unacceptable. I
like Harry Potter. I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Yay!
I will allow you for Harry Potter, but this is
Harry
unacceptable.
So
These films that you've missed out on, Jan. It's not normal behavior.
Honestly, I've not seen like James Bond. I've not seen any of the Fast and Furious apart from one, so I had to go and watch the 9th one the other day.
Oh, I bet it was rubbish, to be honest with you. I haven't seen that.
It was all right. But
Fast and Furious are the earlier ones, literally from like 1 till 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think 5 and above, it just got ridiculous, didn't it?
Like I think shortly after, is it shortly after he thought Letty was dead? That's when it started getting crap.
Yeah, because I remember there was that one stunt where Dominic jumped over on a bridge to catch her mid-air. And I was like, I'm not watching this anymore.
Yeah,
this is unacceptable. It's ridiculous.
I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah, because somebody was saying, where is it? Because I haven't seen a lot of films that everyone's seen them. So everyone talks about them. Like, I haven't
Fuck.
Oh, my brother used to be obsessed with Bob the Builder. Oh my god.
No, but this is Bob the Bunda, Jan.
Yeah. Bob the Bunda. I don't know what porn site you've been watching, but you know.
Ramsey, are you alive? You do know Belbatron is going to make a Bob the Bunda website now.
Honestly, I was literally just imagining what Jan was saying. It sounds like a really bad porno.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. It's not a Man City thing, but I haven't seen like Star Wars, Star Trek, any of that. I just haven't seen any of these
To be fair, I've never seen Star Trek, and I only watched Star Wars this year because people moaned at me for it, and I feel like I lost hours of my life. So
I've not seen any of them. Can't stand any of them.
I have no interest in any of that crap. I can tell you that before I've even watched it.
yeah, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, to be honest with you.
Did you, man? Honestly, like, how young are you people? I was born in the 90s where there was like 3 programs to choose from, mate. When I got older,
Yeah, I watched both when I was born in the 90s.
When
A couple of years younger.
yeah, but when I got older, it was more like I watched a lot when I was older, like you know, all the stuff on like Trouble and what was it? Oh,
You watch Disney Channel. Oh,
and
Nickelodeon.
the other one. What's the other one that was green? And it used to have like Moesha and all that on it. I used to watch all of them, like Moesha, One on One. Everybody hates.
I used to watch One on One.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
that.
All of them, sort of My Wife and Kids.
My Wife and Kids was great.
That
And
was
Fresh
cool.
Prince was
All
great
of
as
them
well.
I used to watch.
Yeah. Did you ever watch That's So Raven? That was on Disney Channel.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
So Raven was
I love that so Raven. That was
Sister,
good.
like every time she'd get pissed off with her brother, she'd be like, Corey!
Oh, the best one was when she was what's it called? I think it was Seance. And no, was it Seance? Or was it no. It was the one where she called herself Liz Anya. That one killed me. They couldn't think of a name for her, and then I've forgotten what his name is, but he was like he couldn't think of a name, so he looked at the waiter that was bringing food across, and he was like, okay, you're either lasagna or pork chopper. They killed me.
I love Prison Break. I love
Prison Break's really
Break. That is, I watched that thinking I'm not gonna like this, and I watched the first episode, and I thought, oh, it's okay, let me watch it. Oh my god, I love Prison Break.
Oh yeah, and of course the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You know what? Yeah, this is probably like true. I used to watch so many horror films. Like I used to love horror films when I was little. Jeepers, Creepers, all of that stuff. Me now, you think I know all that shit on my own? And then like sometimes I watch films with my boyfriend, and then my boyfriend goes, "I'm going home," and I'm like, "Great."
I don't fuck with scarecrows because of Jeepers Creepers. I do not fuck with scarecrows because of Jeepers Creepers. Fuck.
That film's fucked. That film's actually fucked. Oh,
it's so messed up, like, because it's literally what the thing comes. It comes every 20 years or 27 years or something, and it's just like once it's loose, you're done. Like there's nothing you can do. It's just if you don't survive the night, goodbye to you.
It's mad.
What was it speaking about? Sorry, I was looking at the comments.
Jeepers Creepers.
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's. I used to love, like I said, I used to love horror films. I used to watch them. Pet Sematary was my favorite film as a child. I don't know why.
I've heard of that.
Mad. And it's just like, but now I think when you get older, you just don't like them. But I went to this thing in San Diego, Halloween. Oh my god, right? It was in the middle of like the woods in California, like somewhere near San Diego. And you go there and it's a scare thing. And you go in, and in every room, like these people have to scare you. So you go into like a room and it's like the Exorcist girl. So there's like a bed. You're like in her, like I think it's like a fake walls. It's not like an actual house or anything. And you go in and she gets out of bed and like comes towards you, right? But they told me on the way in, like, these people can't touch you. Like, don't worry. Just, they're just there to scare you. This woman comes and grabs me on the shoulders, this Exorcist girl.
Nope.
I was like, move, you're not allowed to touch me. So then we went to another room and there's like all this other stuff. There's like a Jeepers Creepers like bus. But so I went through that and there's like some of the seats are like fake things and then others there's like they're in, they're like, oh my god, it was the scariest thing ever, this thing, right? And then at the end, when you get to the end, you see the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it's like there's a light behind him and you see a chainsaw and he puts the chainsaw on and then he starts running after you. So like you one and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy's behind you. Oh my god, my sister was like this. I went into the wall and then he's right behind me. I can hear him. Oh, it was scary. And then when we got to the end, this guy was like, they were putting like chainsaws near me. The guy only went and cut my leg, but luckily it wasn't on. So it was like just the blade. But the actual chainsaw wasn't on. And then, like, you know what America's like? They were like, oh my God, what can we do? Because they thought I was going to sue him. But it's like, I'm not going to sue you. So, yeah, it was kind of
Nice.
scariest thing
You
ever.
know what? I was just laughing at like the way you said your sister just pushed you out of the way and you ran for her life. She was like, if one of us has to live, I'll send your love to mum and dad, innit? Safe.
But do you know what's scary about that? Like, it's volunteers and it's in the middle of the woods in America. It's like, if this person decided to just kill you, no one would know. Like, it was mad. It was mad. But I would love to do it again, even though it was so scary. Like, we were just screaming the whole time, me and my cousins. It was just mad. But I think that was like 2006, I think. So I was like, probably,
I can't deal with stuff like that. I can't deal with stuff like that because I will end up like inadvertently in somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Like it's the whole. It reminds me of what you know, the saw maze thingy in Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
I remember. We when we went, this was literally like 2012. So I was like, what, 16, 17, something like that. It was ages ago. And we got off the school ride, and my friend and a few others, they were like, oh, I want to go to the maze. I was like, I'm not going to the maze because I've heard what it's about. And I can't do that, to be honest. Like, I can't, sorry. But I was like, I'll wait for you guys out here, innit? So they go in. I'm waiting. After a while, do I not see my friend? She's getting escorted out by security. I'm like, what happened? She's like, someone touching me, so I slapped.
But it is though, because people get scared. Because I went to something in Fort Park. It wasn't the store maze. It was just another bit. And me and my cousin went in, and you had to like hold on to people like in a line like that.
Oh my God.
And these people, like, I went in, and the first room, it was quite scary because all these things. The second room, there was a guy who looked dead like, you know, Nanny from Man United. I just started laughing. And after that, I was like, I can't. Like, after that, I just was not scared because it was just like, he just looked like him. But yeah, it was mad. And then, like, but then people were like jumping out, you know, randomly. Like, I don't like stuff like that, you know. I don't like that. It's just like, you know, it's fake, but it's like, yeah, I don't like people jumping out.
Yeah, because you're not prepared for it. You're not prepared for it. So you don't kind of react how you would kind of just react in a situation where you feel threatened. So it could be you'll scream, or you'll just inadvertently just turn around and just slap
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what? The only Exorcist film I watched was The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and that was only because there was that chick from Dexter in it. You know, his sister.
Oh, Deb.
Deborah, yeah.
Yeah.
Her sister was,
you know, they were married in real life as well. That's so weird.
Who? Deb and Dexter in real life?
The actors. When they were filming Dexter, like the earlier seasons, they were married.
Oh, so that's weird.
They got a divorce, I think, later on as well. Like, but they were still obviously working together on the later seasons. But it's so weird.
Yeah.
But he was. Oh, I don't know. Having an actor or an actress or whatever as your partner, and then watching them kiss and do stuff with other people on the screen is very strange.
Yeah.
I know it's their job. It's just very strange.
They were acting as like brother and sister, so I just
where they speak to each other.
And obviously, like, I know they're not related in real life, but it's just like, like I know you're married in real life. Sister, that's your brother. It just was weird.
Maybe that's why they forced the dumb storyline, you know, where she had a crush on Dexter and she thought she was in love with him.
I'm not gonna lie, like, they did kind of hint at a really twisted brother-sister relationship. Bit questionable. Yeah, like even so, like obviously I know he felt guilty about her death in the end, but you shouldn't be that torn up. It was literally like he lost the love of his life.
And that's what's weird about it though, right? Like, does he have a conscience or not? Is he actually a sociopath or not? I don't understand, because one minute he didn't care about anything, the next he did, and then what? Now he stopped caring about it again. And is it new series?
She's gone. Like, was she the reason why he cared? It's so confusing. Like, was she the anchor? That means does he have a conscience? Is he a sociopath then? But then he's a serial killer. So it's weird. It's weird.
Shrek is love. Shrek is life. Yeah, there's a lot of Shrek memes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, someone asked what's our favourite Disney movie. Mine would definitely be. I don't know about the whole Disney thing because I know a lot of things come under Disney, but
Oh,
Beauty
Pixar.
and the Beast was always my favourite as a kid. Like I always
That's my mum's favorite.
And honestly, like my sister we used to play a game, and I used to be like, "Can I be the Beast?" for some reason.
And do you know what? I really liked Mulan actually because I just like as a kid I just thought
okay, we're watching that. Next time we're all free, we're watching Mulan.
I just thought, oh my god, it's so bad. Like she's a woman, and you know she's out here.
Don't spoil it. We're gonna watch it. But yeah, Mulan's a good film.
But yeah,
I think mine's Lion King. That's because it's like my first, earliest one I remember.
I love Aladdin and Lion King actually.
Yeah, Aladdin's good as well.
Yeah, but
I didn't say Lion King because I knew everyone was gonna pick Lion King. That's why.
Yeah.
I've seen it in the theater as well, and it's amazing in the theater.
Yeah.
It's a really good. It's just brilliant. I think that's the earliest. I remember it because it was my brother's favorite because he's a couple years younger than me, and when he was little, like really really young, he just loved watching it, and I used to sit and watch it with him, and that's like one of my earliest sort of memories. Aww. That's why I just loved it, to be honest. I hate him now though.
There's a few that I love though, because I love elephants. So Dumbo was always one of my favorites as well. I love Dumbo, but Beauty and the Beast, like I was watching it when the new one came out, and you can just sing along to it and all the songs. Oh, it's great. I love Beauty and the Beast. I hope my kids like Beauty and the Beast, because when I was a kid, all I remember is I had this massive like puzzle, because I used to like doing jigsaw puzzles. So I had like this really big puzzle, and me and my mum used to just sit there and do this puzzle in the day. So like
you know my favorite like song soundtrack was actually from The Little Mermaid, Under the Sea.
That's a great soundtrack.
That was my favorite, like literally, because what was it? The little Jamaican lobster, in it.
Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian.
Yeah. Because my sister had a fish when she was a kid called Flounder. After I think it was the fish in that. Yeah.
I love that.
I haven't seen Brokeback Mountain. I know it's a gay film, or it's about gay people, but I haven't actually seen it.
Do you know what you should?
We're watching that as well.
Do you know what you guys should watch if you want like a really good like gay type film? Is it Moonlight?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't watch them.
I don't,
because they always portray it in a really extreme way, and I can't be bothered with it. Like proper stereotyping, and I'm not about it. But if it is good, I'll.
Moonlight, Brokeback Mountain, that's a bit like Hollywood commercial, but Moonlight is actually won quite a few.
I think
2016. Yeah, it's an LGBT drama. Who's in it? Yeah, obviously, Mahershala Ali is in it. He plays one of the main characters.
Yeah.
It's actually really, really good. What was it? Yeah. Academy, won Academy Award for Best Picture. I think it was initially released in 2016 at the Cannes Film Festival as well. So it's like an independent film as well. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 28 awards from this. It's
okay,
really
so it must be good then, right?
Yeah, good. I wouldn't recommend it if it was just one of those typical because I'm with you, Rachel. I can't stand the fucking typical stereotypes of the LGBTQ community. It's just so annoying by like mainstream Hollywood or whatever. But this is a really, really good film as well, and it's gay people of color as well, so black men.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because there's a big stigma in the black community with it. Not that it's much worse than anyone else, but there's a big, especially with Caribbeans, like it's a big thing. So to make a film about it is very interesting. Love to see the dynamic there.
Yeah. See, I like a lot of films like those kind of ones that are set on the past, like what's it called? The Color Purple, I think it is. I've seen years ago. I like Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond used to be my favorite film years ago. And the Secret Life of the Bees, that's got so many people in it.
Oh my god, Secret Life of Bees made me honestly cry.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It made me honestly cry.
That film's everyone in it. Even Alicia Keys is in it. Like, it's just mad.
Yeah, she is, and she did the soundtrack for it as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a song literally at the end, like as the credits are coming up, that she's sung, and it's just honestly so beautiful. It just brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah, I love that. I love them sort of films. I do like them. But yeah, just I don't really mind. The only films that I don't really love are like action films. I'm not an action film kind of person. So everything else,
pace for me. The action.
Rush Hour 1 and 2. I love these movies. Have you ever seen these movies?
Yeah,
Rush Hour 1 and 2.
They're funny.
Wait, the real question is, has Jan seen it?
I don't think I've seen the whole film. I've seen bits. I don't think I sat there and watched it. Well, it's an action movie, isn't it?
But this is pure comedy. This is comedy.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. Like, it's funny. Oh, I like When White Men Can't Jump. I like that film. That's a good film.
Oh gosh, there's so many films we need to watch with Jan.
The true story about the black women that worked in space with
I've heard. Oh, what's that called? I haven't seen it. I really want to watch it though.
It's so good. It's so good.
What's her actual name? Her real name as well.
Yeah, she was still alive. I think she's not passed away now. What's the name? Taraji. I love Taraji. She's
she's brilliant. Yeah.
Probably my favorite actress. I love her. Let me see. She's in. Oh my god, I remember her in Hustle and Flow. You know, bloody hell, that brings back memories. Jesus.
Yeah, you need to watch all these films that you've missed out on. I can't believe it.
You know, I can't even catch up on the TV that I'm like behind on, but I'm taking time off work, so I want to watch everything. But I've seen Friday because my sister used to always put it on. I love White Chicks. White Chicks is funny.
Have you seen How High?
You on Blueford?
With Redman and Method Man are in it. That one's funny as well.
I might have. My sisters used to put a lot of films on, and I used to watch it. And then my dad is one of them people that's like, "Sit down, we're watching a film." So like,
Friday is good as well, and then next Friday.
Yeah, I've seen like
Friday after next.
I love Boys in the Hood. Boys in the Hood's good.
Boys in the Hood is great. Do you know, I found Boys in the Hood bare educational as well, to be honest. Because like that was when I watched that, that's when I first started understanding about like, because obviously his dad's just bare intelligent. He was just like talking to him about gentrification, look what's happening in the neighborhood, like don't be stupid, be smart, like what the fuck?
Did you
see what?
It's called Hidden Figures. That's what the film's called. About the women that work in space.
Wow.
Watch it. Hidden Figures. And I love that film. I really love it.
I might have to watch that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely watch Hidden Figures. And there's another one that I watched a short while ago about a young couple. What's it called? It's a young like black couple, and it's set years ago in America. And I think he ends up going to jail for something that he doesn't do. And it's just about their relationship. And I can't remember what it's called, but that was a good film as well. I watched it. You know, when I watch a lot of films on the plane, like when I get on the plane, I'm just uninterrupted and I can watch films that I never get time to watch at home. So I need to go on a holiday to Jamaica or something, and then
I was just gonna say you need a long haul flight, like you need a 5-hour plus flight. I was just gonna
that was me when I went to Australia, to be fair. 14 hours on one flight. Mental.
What? No, that's long. That is.
Yeah, it was like 14 hours to get to Singapore from here, and then it was 7 hours to get from Singapore to Brisbane.
Do you know what you guys should watch?
It was the best flight.
There's only one season and 10 episodes, and it's been cancelled since. I have no idea why, because it's the first cancelled show after one season that's literally been nominated for so many awards. Lovecraft Country.
What's it about?
It's based on obviously like the book, so it's literally like it's got like what aliens, magic, stuff like that. But it's all basically to do with like racial tensions, like, and they're using real life racial incidences to kind of display and portray it. So I don't know, it's a bit like When They See Us meets Stranger Things meets yeah, like honestly it's like a weird cross of like all of these things. Like just watch the trailer, guys, you will not be disappointed. It's set in 1950s America, so they actually talk about, you know, the murder of like Emmett Till, the Tulsa riots. They mention all of that stuff as well. Like you actually see it and you live it in it as well. It's honestly, it's really, really good.
Yeah, because what's it called? Have you seen the documentary of Emmett Till? It's like the untold story. That was so emotional.
Yeah.
Like I just used to watch that and cry. Like so sad. Because you just see you see his face. Like the mum doesn't hide anything because she wants everyone to see. It's just so sad, man. People like these people must be in hell. Like they must be in hell. And I think that white woman should be in hell as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100. Did you hear how she basically she confessed on her deathbed or something? And it's just like, no one cares, honey. You're going to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to hell for what you allowed to happen to an innocent child.
I know. It wasn't even a man. It was a child. Like, it's disgusting, man. I can't believe people used to do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's so sad. And like you can see what is mad is like when you look at them videos, you always think that like Emmett Till was born way back. But when you actually look at it, the mum and dad are like the same age as like my parents or maybe my grandparents.
They're
younger than my grandparents because my granddad was born over 100 years ago. So he was born in 1917. So it's like when did Emmett Till die? Let me find out.
It was in the 50s. It was I think it was like 55 or 50, like mid 50s or late 50s.
Yeah, so he died in 55.
There we go.
So yeah, and he was born in 1941. My granddad was born in 1917. My dad was born in 1956. So yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
It's absolutely nuts, isn't it?
And my mum was born in 1963, not me. I was born in 1991, guys. Yeah, I mean,
we're all 90s babies here, guys. We're all born.
You know what? Yeah, Harris. I love Bow Wow, but I was so disappointed in Fast and Furious. How is he fat? Bow Wow used to be hot, you know. Now he's short.
Wait, is he in the latest Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
I was like, he's not Bow Wow. And Carl was sat next to me, my friend, yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's Bow Wow. I'm like, nah, there's no way.
No way. Hold on, let me have a look.
Nah.
I remember when he released his freaking song years ago and everything. Where is he? Let me see. I can't see him as big Bow Wow.
Well, yeah, in my household, like my dad used to just put movies on, like whatever movie was on. But my sister got Beetlejuice for her 5th birthday, and I think it was a 15. So I don't know. Like Beetlejuice is quite scary when you watch it. Like thinking about it, when I was a kid, I used to hide behind the sofa because you know that they die. And then all them like dead people with like their heads shrunk and stuff. And I used to watch what was the one? Drop Dead Fred. That's quite a weird film, you know. Like
what's this called?
Drop Dead Fred.
It's about this little girl that lives in a house, and this man like keeps breaking into the house. It's weird. Like it's weird. I used to watch that. I used to watch Death Becomes Her, about them women that I can't remember what happens, but like they're basically like I can't remember how it goes. But I used to watch that when I was a kid. I used to watch Her. It's like let me find out what it's about, because that's going to annoy me now. It's about women that are like something with the aging, like Death Becomes Her.
Like they don't age or like divorce or something.
They hate each other for years. A writer and an actress hate each other for years as they have a crush on the same man. They secretly drink a miracle cure that prevents aging and also turns them immortal. So I think they're like They're dead old, but they won't die. And they're like, they look, it's weird. So like they drop down the stairs and like they're all like, I don't know. It's just, I can't remember, but I used to watch that when I was a kid. I used to watch all this kind of weird films, man.
But you just didn't watch cartoons apart from Beauty and the Beast.
I have like a really like good recommendation for you guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite a fucked up film, but it's really good. You should watch it. It's called The Skin I Live In.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's in Spanish, so you'd have to watch it with subtitles. Antonio Banderas is in it. So obviously he plays this plastic surgeon. And basically what happens is he takes this guy who he thinks the guy like raped his daughter, but he didn't. So because like he doesn't understand his daughter's a bit like messed up. So she like goes ahead and kills herself, and because he doesn't really know what happens, he thinks that the guy raped his daughter. That's why she killed herself. So he kidnaps the guy and basically gives him a sex change.
Oh wow!
And he keeps him like locked up.
You know what that just reminded me of?
And he eventually escapes, but he's got to live his life as a woman because he's got a woman's body now.
Oh my god!
And he was forced to take hormones, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like it was so mad. But the thing is, the way he made him look like his dead wife. So she looks like the spitting image of his dead wife, his daughter's mother. Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's fucking creepy, right? So creepy.
I don't know if I want to watch this film.
It's a really good film, though. Honestly,
it feels like it will make my skin crawl while I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Not in a scary way, just in a very disturbing way.
Yeah,
you enjoy it, Lambs. I can see in your face you enjoyed it.
It made me think a lot. Like it was just mad. Like I was just kind of watching it, like, but like in a way, like it's weird because I kind of feel bad for all of the characters, like even Antonio Banderas. I feel sorry for his daughter as well. And I feel sorry for this guy as well, the guy who literally got mixed up and caught in the middle of this. It was so mad. I still recommend you watch it. I don't think like you'd find it disturbing. You don't like see anything like gory or anything. It's just kind of like when you just deep like the conversations and stuff, it's just like wait.
She watches horror films at a young age, but she draws the line at sex changes.
No, it's not that. It's Saw. I don't like Saw. Saw is too. Don't get me wrong. Like I like the idea of the film, but it's too gory for me.
I Saw's funny though.
Like when I was a kid, I would have watched it, but now that I'm older, I don't really like a lot of blood and stuff now.
Yeah, I
just you know what it is? I think they're just bad films. Like especially after the second one, they're just bad films. Yeah. And now it just makes me laugh. It's like a Final Destination.
When I hear like, "Do you want to play a game?" I'm like, "Nope, never."
You know what?
None of that.
Like in horror films, that's why I love Scary Movie.
Scary Movie was funny.
Like it'll say run, and it'll say the right way, the wrong way, and they go the wrong way. It's like, oh my god, because Scream is so. Like I like Scream, the films in it, they're funny. But it's like Scary Movie is the best. Second, especially the second one. That
the second one was so funny.
Oh
like I saw the guy giving himself heads. I saw a fucking post. I saw a stoner get smoked up by the weed. Like the weed plant started smoking him, build him, and started smoking. I was just like, what on earth am I watching? Like everything.
I remember when Charlie Sheen's character took Viagra and it became so big that he couldn't even. He ended up falling off. Yeah, he fell off the balcony or something, didn't he? And he landed on it.
No, that second one. Oh my god, The Ring. I used to like The Ring.
You liked The Ring? Isn't that the chick with the well that she fell down the well?
Yeah, and I used to like put my hair in front of my face and then just like stand there because it looked like.
That's the one that if you watch the film, you die in 3 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a ring straight after you watch it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's great.
Dusty bitch coming out.
You know what? I've seen a lot of films. I just haven't seen the films that everyone has seen. Like I've just seen loads of films that are just like
facts.
You know.
Yeah. Do you know what? I remember I used to find it funny. Then I thought, no, it's not actually that funny. It's just not. I like Sheldon.
As a nerd, I find it offensive. That's what I'm gonna say. They are the worst nerds ever. We know how to speak to women. Thank you very much.
Why is it Howard? Why is he such a pervert? I don't understand.
He changes when he gets married, to be fair. But yeah, in the beginning he was
He's still a pervert. He's still a pervert.
No. I'm saying he changes for the better. He actually grows after he gets married. But he was over the top, wasn't he? Just fucking go away.
He was.
I haven't ever seen How I Met Your Mother. I've seen bits of the episode, but I've never watched it.
If you do, don't watch the last season.
The last season just kind of kills it, honestly.
They're kind of like Dexter as well. Don't watch the last season of that either. Or Game of Thrones. Actually, don't watch the last
two seasons of Game of Thrones, to be honest. Don't watch season 7 either.
I've not seen any of it, so I probably won't watch it.
That's fair. If you're going to learn anything about Game of Thrones, just read the books.
But it's like, I tried to watch Breaking Bad because everyone kept going on about it, and I didn't like that. Like, I got like 2 episodes in, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe it gets better, but
you know what? It does get better, but I think it's overrated.
Yeah,
I'm being honest with you. I think it's good. It's decent, but it's not amazing the way people go on about it. Personally, I don't see it.
Did you watch Pretty Little Liars? I love Pretty Little Liars.
I watched that. Yeah, I watched that a few years ago as well.
I love
the way they drew out the whole A thing. There was nuts.
Yeah, I was just like, what? I was just like, who the hell is this person? Are we gonna drag it out for all of the seasons?
Can we talk about Spencer's twin because it was unacceptable?
Oh yeah,
Spencer's twin, the worst reveal ever.
Yeah, what the hell? That's who it ended up being, because initially they thought it was what's her name? The one who actually went missing in the first place, Alison. Yeah. Then they figured out she was alive this whole time, which I think was weird. I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
they should have kept her dead. I didn't like her at all.
But it was a bit. I think that they changed their minds. I don't think they actually knew who was going to be until they got later on, because you can tell. Because if A was actually decided from the beginning, I think she would have been in the first season, but she wasn't.
No, I think Cece was decided to be A in the 4th season, because that's when you started to get all the clues. But the Uber thing, they decided the twin from the beginning because you could see all the clues leading up to that point. But I agree. Mona was the best character on the show anyway. What a go.
Yeah, she was. I didn't even know. Like, sometimes I was just like, I don't know if this bitch is genuine or if she's just a downright snake. Like, I don't know what was going on in her head. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, Mona's on your side, and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing, Mona? Like, what are you like? She was just bipolar. What the hell?
I like the black girl. That Shay. What's her name?
Oh, Emily.
Emily's
Emily.
friend. I liked her. That's Beyonce's sister-in-law, isn't it? In real life.
Is it?
Yeah, her dad's married to Beyonce's mum. I like her. She's gorgeous.
Mad. Actually, I liked Emily in general, to be fair.
Yeah,
I liked her character. She was the best one out of all of them, I think. Yeah. The other one was sleeping with her teacher. Spencer.
Oh, get me out.
Yeah. Spencer was just really fucking and really, really annoying, to be honest. I thought Emily was the nicest one, to be fair.
Yeah. And she was hot. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
I just think Hannah was just too moany.
She was too, you know what it is? She was too impulsive.
Yeah.
So she kept doing this thing where she'd like get herself into trouble without thinking and then apologize after. And I was like, how many times are you going to do it? Even after the time skip, have mercy on me.
She kept on doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, we've been going for a while now. Almost forgot about
this. Wrap up, because this is a football and movie show.
No, this is a therapy show. I think that's what it's become. Everyone can let out their frustrations and whatnot. Big up to the chat though.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Bunda, football and movies tonight.
Oh yeah, and racism.
Good old racism.
But yeah, we'll wrap up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share across all socials if you can. But yeah, we'll be back next week at around the same time, knowing us. Well, knowing me, it's always my fault.
just be here from about 10:30, 10:45, 11, just around that window.
Yeah,
maybe just 11. Maybe just 11.
Yeah, just come at 11 because we won't be long into the show, even if we start at 10:30. So yeah, tune in then, and we'll see you later. Thank you, guys.
You got